Hey guys, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Time for another edition of the Pony Pundits here, brought to you by WagerTalk.com as we have another stakes race coming up here over this weekend. In fact, it's the $1 million Rebel Stakes. This will be the third of four qualifying prep races here, all looking towards the Kentucky Derby. And who better to help you cash tickets this weekend at Oaklawn than these two fine gentlemen. Marco D'Angelo in the house, as well as Sig here and ready to go. And guys, we've got a couple of great opportunities for you to take advantage, both with Marco and Sig. We'll talk about that in a second. But Marco, it was funny, off air, we were talking about last week's race there at Tampa Bay Downs, and we're like, weather be damned. Long shots galore, my friend. What can I say? But this weekend, different race, different types of horses as well. Very unique here, what we're going to have on Saturday.
Yeah, Joe, and this is, we're wrapping up the 50-point Derby prep races. We're going to be getting into the big boys here with the remaining schedule after this week, looking at some 100 points on the line coming up. But the Rebel may not have the prestigious name of some of the other prep races, but I can tell you, Joe, if you look back at some of the winners, you're going to see several Kentucky Derby winners come through Oaklawn Park and this very same race. American Pharaoh, Smarty Jones, Curlin, Fleet Alex, looking at Lucky, all horses that went through Oaklawn Park and the Rebel on their road to the Derby. So this is an important race, and we could see somebody emerge here. On paper, it does look like a two-horse race. And, oh, by the way, Joe, my partner, how you say, is always a conspiracy theory on the what numbers, even and odd. Right. Yeah, there's an 8-5 shot and a 2-1 shot this week, and they're both odd horses. And I don't have the odd horses this week, so screw both of you.
Listen, Sig, it's amazing how that works out, my friend. It really does here. Marco seemed to get all of the even money horses to talk about last couple of weeks, and you did a great job of telling us how not to bet the 40-1 shot. So, Sig, let me ask you here, my friend. First of all, you've been tearing it up at Gulfstream Park. You've been red hot over there. What else has been going on for you right now?
Well, Joe, like he said, Gulfstream Park's been amazing for the month of March so far. We're nailing 70% winners in our top two picks so far today. In the first four races of Gulfstream, that winner came from our top two selections. So we're rolling along there. WagerTalk still has that Triple Crown package out there too. Guys, 169 is a great price to get all my picks now through the Belmont Stakes. So if you have a chance, hop on there. It's limited time. I have no idea yet when they're bringing it down, but I know it's been up there for a few weeks. I wouldn't expect it to be up there much longer.
Yep, guys, WT.buzz/SIG is where you guys want to go over there. You got it, guys. All the racing forums from now right through the Belmont here. And a great opportunity for you to jump on there for $169. And Marco, in fact, over there, a lot of things happening this weekend, guys. Obviously, conference championships, college basketball, NBA, NHL. Of course, a full card of racing over the weekend. And the opportunity for you to hop on with Marco on a week-long journey, a week-long all-access pass. You can do it right now for just $79 if you head over to WagerTalk.com. And all you got to do, guys, use that code Marco79, and that'll get you 7 days, all access, all sports, all plays, all the selections there for 7 days right now. $79. Just use that code Marco79 at checkout. All right, guys, we want to dive into this Rebel Stakes. Let's look at the entries. It's a small field, only 8 horses. And since Marco insists that you do the odd horses here, Sig, and he's pretty insistent about it, he wants nothing to do with the odds. We're going to start with this number 1 horse and get your thoughts in Cattle River on another Brad Cox horse in this one here. And also, I believe, did pretty well in that Smarty Jones Stakes on January 22nd in a familiar location. So what do you think? It's probably, or at least going to be up there for the morning line favorite once race day comes. How do you like this number 1 horse?
Joe, I like Caddo River a lot. He is the morning line favorite here. I don't believe he's going to be the post time favorite. given Bob Baffert's recent success in the Rebel. Yeah, his trainees have won 7 of these Rebel stakes races since 2010. I think Concertor is going to end up being your post-time favorite, but I don't overlook Caddo River here. The Brad Cox trainee out of Hardspun has not missed the exacta in his short career. He won his last 2 efforts by almost 20 lengths, including that Smarty Jones that you just mentioned here at Oaklawn, so he does like the surface. This is going to be the toughest field that he's faced in his short career, but if he shows any improvement over his last couple efforts, he should definitely be part of the mix in here. Brad Cox is the leading trainer based on earnings so far in 2021, and that's because he trains for the big spots. He trains for these big stake races. He's looking for the big purses. Look at the success he's had. Go back to the 2020 Breeders' Cup. He trained 4 winners in the Breeders' Cup. I mean, that's almost unheard of. The Baffert entries are going to take a ton of money here, but I think Caddo River's going where I'm going to end up landing at as my top win selection in here.
All right, Caddo River, it is there. We've got, of course, the early line favorite here. We'll see what happens at post time. Let's go to number 2 here, Marco. Big Lake here. Steve Asmussen, trained horse here. Ricardo Santana Jr. on top. Goes off at 12-1 here early. A lot of folks I'm seeing here really like this in a triple superfecta, expecting him to be somewhere up there. What do you think?
Well, after the top 2 horses in this race, it is pretty wide open, and this horse does have a license to improve here and get on that ticket. If you look at his speed figure patterns, he's in the right direction. He's increased his speed figure in the last 3 races. That's what you want to see with the young horse. He's got the proper number of starts that you want to see at this time of the year. He's got 4 starts. This will be his 5th career start. He raced at 2. The 2 starts as a 2-year-old, the horse had 1 decent one and then 1 bad one. Comes back, makes his debut in 2021 on Lasix, and all of a sudden the horse is a world beater, wins both starts. Now, I will point out that this is a horse that seems to get himself into trouble. 3 straight races, he's had the old asterisk by his race line where he occurred problems. He was able to overcome them in the last 2. But if you go back and look at that last race, he was on top by 6 turning for home, and he was all out to hold on to get the win. He'll be better another time at this distance, but I just don't think he can go with the top 2 here. If he sits back off the pace, I think he can pick up 3rd or 4th in this race, and that's where I would look to use him.
All right, possible in the triples in that one. We're going to move on to number 3 here, Sig. And Hozier, we're looking at Bob Baffert, right? Do we need to say anything else besides Bob Baffert here? You know that's going to get a lot of play on race day. What do you think of this horse there? A legitimate chance?
I think he does have a legitimate chance in this spot, Joe. He's going to be the other Baffert Concertor who we'll get to later in the show is going to be the one getting the most attention here. But he's lightly raced, only 2 races under his belt so far. Both occurred as a 3-year-old. As you guys remember, Baffert broke the curse not racing as a 2-year-old with Justify a few years ago. Pretty well with winning the Triple Crown with Justify. Hozier, I'm not even sure how I'm pronouncing it right. But he had Rosario up for the last race, breaking his maiden at Santa Anita. He's going to have Martin Garcia up, who does pretty well when he rides for Baffert. He used to ride for him pretty consistently in Southern California. They had a little falling out. He's been riding at Oaklawn. He is going to be riding for him here on the 3-horse. His only 2 races, though, have come with Lasix, and he won't have Lasix here being in the stake race. So I'm a little concerned about that. But Baffert has a knack for conditioning these runners and getting them ready to go a longer distance. He's already proven he can pretty much get this distance here. I think Concertor is going to attract a lot of the attention, but I think Hozier is going to basically surprise here. I would definitely use him underneath.
Or we can just make it like Hozier. How's that? We'll go with that. Not a problem there. Number 4 here, Marco, I'm coming to you. Get Her Number. Javier Castellano on top here, 8-1 morning line favorite. California horse that we have not seen, I believe, since September 26th at the American Pharaoh Stakes at Santa Anita. It's been a little while. What do you think here of Get Her Number?
Well, that's the problem with this one, Joe, is I'm not saying that this horse is not going to make some noise later in the season, but I think this is purely a prep race for the next Kentucky Derby prep race. If they see enough out of this horse in this one, they'll move on. But I just don't see this one ready to take them on. And if you look at the horse's racing style, likes to be sitting on the lead or right off of it. Well, off the long layoff, in the two favorites in this race are speed horses. You don't want to be out there trying to, battle the fractions early on when you haven't raced since September. The other factor that tells me this horse isn't ready this week is the fact Flavien Prat didn't make the trip. If this horse was totally live and a 100% legit Kentucky Derby horse at this time, I think Pratt would have made the trip to Oaklawn for the $1 million purse. That is keeping me off of the horse. Watch this one. This one is one that you might be betting in the next race that it runs, but I don't see it here on Saturday.
All right. Well, we're going to go to the number 5 horse here in this Rebel Stakes at Oaklawn on Saturday. And Twilight Blue, Sig, with Joe Sharp training, Brian Hernandez Jr. on top. This horse it's got an interesting career. When you look at the career record, the overall record, not bad. I mean, pretty accomplished here, but at a 15-1 morning line here, is this a long shot contender we should be looking at?
Joe, this is my long shot in the field here. Like you said, he's 15-1 the morning line. He will be a lot higher. Caddo, River, and Concert Tour are going to take a majority of the bets here on Saturday. He debuted back in August at Ellis Park. They tried him on the turf, didn't run a lick. He switched from the dirt, and the surface change was fantastic for him. Wins his maiden in his second race, first on the dirt, comes back, finishes second in an allowance, and then comes back and finishes third in the Sugar Bowl Stakes at the Fairgrounds. So far this year, he has a fourth in an allowance, and then he came back and won his last outing here at Oaklawn over a muddy track. So there is a chance of some rain this evening. If we do get a messy or a muddy track tomorrow, he's definitely one to look at here. But ever since the switch to the dirt, he has those 2 wins. And I think this close speed figures have been really improving here. I think he's one of the best finishers in the field. And I think he's definitely going to hit the board here at some point as a longer shot. I would definitely use him on the underside of your tickets, guys.
Yeah, a little bit of mud there might pull an upset here, guys. Keep an eye on that. We're going to go to number 6. Keep me in mind here, Marco, and look at that, 4-1. I don't know what you're complaining about. 4-1. You got a bit of a favorite here, but Marco, how do you look? This colt hasn't raced as a 3-year-old. It's his debut. How do you approach this?
Well, here's the thing with this horse, and this is the big factor that causes this horse so many problems. If you watch all of his starts, he doesn't break out of the gate well. He's the last one out of the gate almost every single race. He's got a big, big closing kick. Now, as you said, it's his first start of the year, but he did race late November, so it's not that bad. And he had 2 big races. They were a grade 2 stake race and a grade 1. He was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile where he finished third. And if you go back and look at that race where he finished third, he came from out of the clouds in that race as well. And look who won that race that he only got beat by 2 lengths. And that was Essential Quality, who is one of the Derby favorites moving forward. We saw that horse race back and race very well. So Keep Me in Mind is a horse that if we get a honest pace up front, will be flying late. I think you've got to use this horse on the ticket. And the one good thing about this horse, the way he breaks, is it's a smaller field. There's only 8 horses in this field. It's not like he's going to have to navigate through a 10, 11, 12 horse field coming from dead last. He's going to be a lot closer in this one. The question is he ready to fire right out of the gate? I think he'll be better down the road, but I cannot ignore that closing kick on the bottom end of my exotics. He'll be on my ticket.
Yep, absolute closer in that situation there, and had a little bit of a training schedule interruption with 9 feet of snow there at Oaklawn. So it's been a little rough for him. Let's talk about the number 7 horse here, Sig, because, well, you had the first Baffert horse. Talk to me about the second Baffert horse, Joel Rosario on Concert Tour.
Yeah, Joel Rosario is making the trip from Southern California to ride Concert Tour at Oaklawn tomorrow. The colt out of Street Sense has won both his starts rather. He's looked really fit. He's looked really strong in those starts. He is going to attract the majority of the attention at the betting windows here. He won his debut in wire-to-wire fashion, and then he returned without Lasix to win the San Vicente when he went ahead and basically got a pace-pressing trip and then made a move in late in the race to basically pass down the stretch and take the win. My only concern is he going to be able to handle the distance here? We've seen him go 6 furlongs. We've seen him go 7 furlongs. Can he handle the 1.125 distance here? Baffert's really good, like I said, about Hozier doing this, getting these horses conditioned and ready to go in this spot. I think Concert Tour is going to be a pretty deserving favorite here. I'm going to try to beat on Caddo River, but I have him as my second choice here when we get to my picks. Very short price. You can't bet him to win on Saturday. He's going to be probably close to even money, and can't bet horses at even money and have any success in this business.
Yeah, no, that's not. It's like betting the Yankees at minus $2,500 on a Tuesday night. I agree with you. Super stock number 8 here, Marco. Another Steve Asmussen horse showed some talent as a 2-year-old. Finished in the money in a couple of graded races here. But what do you think of his chances here at Oaklawn at a 6-1 morning line?
Well, Joe, I'm looking at a couple things. The first thing that sticks out is this is the horse's first start since October 25th. That's a long layoff for this horse. This is a horse that generally likes to race in stocking position. The other factor that I look at is, as you said, Asmussen has 2 horses in here. The other horse is number 2, Big Lake, which I talked about. Well, Asmussen's number 1 jockey is Ricardo Santana Jr. That's who gets the main call on his best horses. And Santana obviously probably had his choice of which one. He's ridden both of them before, and he went with the 2. So that's a big handicapping factor when you're looking at which horse you want to use underneath, and that's what's going to have me looking more to the 2 than the 8 in this one. He picks up Joe Talamo to ride for the first time. This is a horse that, Joe, you hear me talk about this time of the year. I like the horses with 3 or 4 starts because they still have that license for that big jump. When you start to have horses have 6 and 7 starts heading to the Derby, they're pretty much getting to be what they're going to be. And this horse had 6 starts. They were as a 2-year-old. You don't see that very often, that 2-year-olds will have 6 starts. It took this horse 3 tries to break his maiden. I'll look elsewhere for my horse underneath here from the top 2. So I'm passing on the 8.
All right, passing on the 8. That's it, an 8-horse field here for at Oaklawn tomorrow for the Rebel Stakes here. That's 3 of 4 as far as the races that can lead to a pretty good appearance and showing at the Kentucky Derby for them. Points will be awarded. Beginning, I believe, one of those last 4 to 50 points here, guys, for these horses. So good opportunity across the board, 8-horse field. We're going to talk some best bets here and see what the cards look like from Marco and Sig. But I do want to remind you right now, Marco, all access. And what else can I say about Marco? All access, whether it's college basketball, NBA, NHL, racing over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, whatever it may be. Get every one of Marco's selections for 7 days, and you can do it for just $79, guys. That's right. Just use the code Marco79 at checkout. That's Marco79, and that will give you 7 days, all access, all sports, all plays, just $79. Use that code Marco79. And Sig, he's rolling in it, guys. Get the opportunity right now to get all of Sig's selections now through the Belmont for just $169, guys. He has been absolutely on fire with his daily racing reports that you can get at WagerTalk.com. Get them all from now through the Belmont. Just $169. Head over to Sig's page at WagerTalk.com. All right, Marco, I'm coming back to you because you made a big stink about how Sig had to go first and everything. So here you go, Marco. We're going to go to you. Best card here. How are you and what are you looking at here at Oaklawn?
I'm looking at most of the odd-numbered horses in this one, 3 of my 4 selections. I am going to go with the Baffert horse on top. Yeah, he's 2-1, and as Sig said, the Baffert money will come in, and he'll probably end up being the favorite in this race. I hope it's even betting, and maybe we get 8-5 on both horses. I'll take $5 and change. You're not going to get rich, but you know what? That beats tearing up a ticket, Joe. And as far as the tries go here, underneath, obviously it's a 2-horse race on paper. As Sig pointed out, Concert Tour, the question is, does he get the distance? Well, we've seen Bob Baffert do this before with horses. This isn't anything new. This is the path he takes getting to the Rebel. I think he'll be just fine. And if you watch that stretch drive, he went against a freedom fighter. That was one hell of a stretch drive from the top of the stretch home. Those 2 horses battled it out. And I'll tell you what, they could have went around the racetrack another time, and Concert Tour wasn't letting that horse go by him. That showed me a lot of grit and determination. Caddo River, 2nd spot. And then really you could put the 3, the 6, and the 2 anywhere you want to, mixing them up on the bottom there. But I did go with the other Baffert horse simply because of the style. He'll be racing right off the pace. And then Keepmeinmind, as I said, if he gets a clean break and is closer to the pace and we get an honest pace, which I think you're going to get with these 2 horses on the lead, he's going to be flying late and will pick up some of the trifecta and superfecta. So 7-1, 3-6 for me.
All right. Well, look, Sig, he did throw an even number horse in there, at least one horse that he reviewed. How about you? Do you have any of Marco's even number horses in your picks?
I did not, Joe. I went all on. All the horses I discussed are the horses I'm using here. Like I said, we got Caddo River on top. I think Concert Tour's going to be the post-time favorite. I think Caddo River's going to give him all we can handle here. Marco and I both landed on Hozier. 3rd here, the 3-horse. Like I said, my long shot pick in here is the 5 Twilight Blue. A lot of the even number horses in here haven't raced or have come off a long layoff so far. So I'm hoping, most of them are going to be looking to get adjusted and get back into racing shape. This might be a prep for a longer spot going out next. But I think 1 or 7 wins here. I think if you use the 7 or the 1-7-3-5, I think you cover yourself in the exacta and in the trifecta here. So 1-7-3-5 are my numbers for the Rebel on Saturday.
Oh, man, you got to love it, guys. It's going to be an exciting day at the races over the weekend. Tomorrow, Oaklawn, the Rebel Stakes. And again, we encourage you guys, don't miss any selections from Sig now through to Belmont. Get his daily racing prediction form. You can get that at WagerTalk. It's simple. $169, guys, is going to get you every one of them. His daily racing reports that you see at WagerTalk.com. Yours for $169. Head over to Sig's page. And, of course, Marco, whether it be his picks tomorrow, his full card tomorrow, or NBA, NHL, NBA, you name it, you get a 7-day all-access pass for just $79, guys. Get every selection, every play, every sport. Marco, $79 at checkout. So, guys, exciting stuff. We got a couple more of these exciting races coming up leading into the May 1st Kentucky Derby. And, of course, we invite you guys to hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner and never miss an edition of Pony Pundits here at WagerTalk TV. So on behalf of Marco D'Angelo and Sig, guys, whatever you do, make sure you make it a profitable weekend. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you again next week.